This video is brought to you by patreon.com/worsttake. Get access to exclusive live streams and Discord servers, on-screen shoutouts, and early access to some videos when you join now. Help make sure that we can continue to make content like this by supporting the Patreon. Links are in the description down below. Michael Hall is a young player we need to talk about more. He's been putting out some impressive stuff over the last 2 weeks. And again, I said this in an earlier video, and I'll continue to say it. I'm shocked that he's this good this early, given the fact that he got suspended, given the fact that he missed some training camp. I thought it was going to be pretty much, a Siaki Ika situation in the first year where the guy's going to barely be active because he just missed so much time and he's working from behind. And you got to keep in mind, this guy's like 20 years old. So he's already super young to be playing defensive line in the NFL. So that's one thing he has to overcome. And then the other thing he has to overcome is that he missed a ton of time. But I give the young kid credit. He's played some good football. The thing I like about him the most is explosiveness, athleticism, and he combines that with a pretty strong motor. We got 16 plays of Michael Hall over the last 2 games we're going to look at here. All right. So right here, Michael Hall, 51. So he's going up against 67. Look at that burst. Great spin move here. Now, was it Alex Kappa? The guard does a good job of holding up. No, Cordell Volson does a good job holding up there, but nice spin move, good explosiveness. You can see the talent there of the young player. Let's go to the next one. Here, he kind of breaks through, and look at the awareness and athleticism here, right? He breaks through, and if Miles doesn't get a hand on this, he might be able to intercept it. So breaks through. Boom. Realizes he sees the running back go across his face. He has the awareness to go back to it. And the athleticism. Look at that athleticism. To strafe. Let's look at 51 again here. Look at the look at the athleticism here. To just jump from gap to gap. Boom. Boom. And then ferociously fighting with this center. I mean, he's just pure energy at this point. Super raw prospect, but the energy, the speed, the motor, all stuff you need to be successful. And when he gets his hands right, he's a pretty ferocious player there. Look at 51 here. He's above 65. This time he does a good job getting off his block. So he holds up 65. Reads this, right? You see him peeking. Okay, cut, and then getting in that gap. Good run defense right there. He was bad at that coming out of college. And, he's not been terrible at it coming out the league. So that's a great sign there. So right here, he just bullies 65. Forces Joe Burrow to throw this thing early. Look, gets under his pads. Moves those feet. Great job there. Now, Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow connect on a great throw and catch there. But the defensive line certainly did its part. By the way, I want to point out, look at the pressure this defensive line is getting without Myles Garrett being out there. This is Obo Okoronkwo, Isaiah McGuire, and Maurice Hurst. And they collapse his pocket pretty thoroughly here. It's a good sign for the future. All right, let's look at the Baltimore game here. Now they're doing something special here with where they're aligning Michael Hall. He's on the edge here, right? He's playing outside the right shoulder of Roger Rosengarten, which is a bit unusual, but he's such a good athlete. He can get away with it, right? Hand swipe. Look at this. He gets a pressure here. Let's watch this rep here. Roger Rosengarten, who I think is a really good tackle or going to be a really good tackle in this league. Hand swipe. And he's able to blow by a tackle. And he's a 3-tech. And look at this. Look at this. He beats Zadarius Smith in this race. Now, he can't get a hand on Lamar Jackson because that's Lamar, right? That's the 1 percentile of quarterback athleticism, literally right there. But look how he hawks down. Just compare how fast he turns his corner to Zadarius Smith. And look how he hawks him down. He's a 3 tech. He is significantly larger than Zadarius Smith. Great athlete, Michael Hall is. Like, the potential is insane here. I mean, again, remember, this is an incredibly young prospect in Michael Hall. Local guy, too. Look at his speed. Like, that's crazy. He hawks him down. He wins on the blow by. He immediately gets Lamar to flood. Boom. Like, if Lamar just stays in that pocket, like, he does get a sack there. Now they have him back at 3 tech. You want him to make this tackle, right? Like, you want him to make a better swing at it. You're not going to tackle Derrick Henry like that, and I think he learned a lesson here. What you would ideally want him to do is get a firmer jab into Rosengarten's chest here to kind of establish his position and get a stronger base that he can get his hips underneath so that he can really launch at Derrick Henry instead of reach at Derrick Henry, right? See how he reaches here? This is just, with time, he'll get a better technique here because where his shoulder is, he should be able to get his hands on underneath the pads, but he's not precise with how he gets that arm up, right? He's kind of sloppy with it. He kind of just pushes it up, and look where that leaves his body position at. See how that's not a powerful spot for him? What you want to be is a little bit more in a powerful position. Get the arm underneath, firmly in the pad, and then drive that foot instead of up, in, right? North. But he'll learn that. He's 20. Like, the technique's going to come here. What you can't teach is this kind of motor that he has, right? Like, he absolutely gets doubled up here. But that kind of allows Myles Garrett to be free here one-on-one. So he does his job. He pretty much like takes care of 2 guys here, right? Wins his matchup one-on-one, forces that guard with a center to play over to him, which frees up both Zadarius Smith and Obo and Myles to be one-on-one. That's what you want to see. It opens up a wide gap here for JOK to shoot through. It forces Lamar to rush the timing on that throw. He throws an inaccurate ball. Right here, he's at wide. He's at a wide alignment here. It's that wide 9. Well, he's not at wide 9. Myles Garrett is at wide 9. He's more at power end. But going up against a guard, and again, the motor here is special. Look at that. That's a great rep. It's a great rep. He's really good with the hand swipe, right? Quick hands. And he moves well left to right. Swipe. He gets off of that. Boom. And then Garden tries to give him a hand. He swipes that down. Boom. Pressure at the quarterback position. Forces Lamar to get rid of the ball early. Maybe that ball's a little bit more inaccurate because he's there. But look at the motor. You cannot deny this dude's motor. Look at this shit. Just keep going, keep going, keep going. I like it. I think this is another example of his motor and athleticism here. Like, the fact that he doesn't completely get blown out here in this chase with Lamar Jackson is such a good sign for his athletic ability. Because he should have got smoked here athletically. He's a 3-tech, right? Like, most 3-techs can't be within they can't chase down Lamar to this extent, right? And he's not going to hawk Lamar down. But this being able to kind of ride with him a little bit, enough to where Lamar can't feel comfortable stopping and throwing. He has to throw this one while moving his feet. Like, that's important there. Like, look how Lamar has to throw it. He can't plant. He has to throw this one across his body like that. Now, because he's Lamar Jackson, he did throw an accurate ball, but that's not Michael Hall's fault. All right, here, Michael Hall. They put him at edge here. Not as successful of a rep here that he had earlier, right? Ronnie Stanley definitely hand fights with him. He definitely needs to tighten his technique up a little bit, but this is not a horrible rep, right? Like still getting some push. But ultimately, I think Stanley does win that one. All right, this is him again in that wide alignment they like to use him in. Look at that. Look at that. That is really exciting when you see it. Again, this is a 3-tech. So first things first, the hand swipe and the shot, boom. And then look how he mirrors Lamar Jackson here. Like, man, 3-techs don't normally move like that. Look at the motor. This is another one of those motor plays here. Like, I don't know if you saw there. So he misses. So this is the one Rashad Bateman drops, right? But look at where Michael Hall starts this play and look at where he ends it. Michael Hall starts this play on the far side of the field. Gets a pressure, gets picked up by the center. He wins his initial matchup, right, versus 65. He gets picked up by the center. The center does a good job picking him up. He then kind of like tries to find the ball, and he realized Lamar's still running. And look at how he sprints, and he almost catches him. Look how he starts this thing at the left tackle spot. Wins. Great job winning that matchup, by the way. I believe it's Pat McCarry. Just instant swipe. Can't do nothing about it. Linderbaum has to move over to pick him up. He does a good job. That's why he's Linderbaum. And then he's like assuming this ball is out, but once he realized Lamar's still going, he kind of starts to hawk him down. And look how fast he gets there. Like he smartly pulls up because he doesn't want to get a penalty. But if he just like, and this will come with time, he will figure out, okay, I'm playing the Ravens. I always have to kind of just find 8 and run to him. This one, he kind of got up. Oh, the play should be dead. Oh, shit. Right? That whole part's going to be cut out because if he just goes full motor here at Lamar Jackson, he could probably have got a strip sack or something like that. And he'll figure it out with time. He's a great athlete. And Michael Hall made that play? Yeah. Again, let's look where Michael Hall lines up. He's at kind of this edge alignment with Za'Darius. So what this is the Browns have guys lined up at 4 and then 9 wide 9, my bad, wide 9. So if you don't know where where Obo and Za'Darius are lined up, you see how they're lined up super wide, almost outside of the tight end. It's called a wide 9 alignment. So what wide 9 is that whenever somebody's saying you run a wide 9 or this guy's playing a wide 9, that's what they're talking about, that super wide alignment. This is to blow tackle depth and make it easier to get to the passer. Obviously, you're going to leave a giant gap there. That's why you need your linebackers to be great athletes in a wide 9. But this is a wide 9 alignment. It allows your best athletes to get in space on the line of scrimmage. And again, Michael Hall's motor is at full display. I think Daniel Falele does a good job kind of holding them, right? With that athletic ability, right? Like, dude, this is not normal to be able to cover that much ground at his size. And like to be able to have the hips to stick with him. And it helps because, again, Lamar doesn't have all day to throw there. He just has to kind of rush it a little bit. Last one here. He actually beats Falele this time. This forces Lamar Jackson out the pocket, but it's a good rep nonetheless. Yeah, man, the talent is there. The talent is there. He's gonna be able to be very playable for the Cleveland Browns just off athletic ability alone. Right? Just off athletic ability in motor, he's gonna be able to give the Browns some productive snaps this year. He's only 20 years old. Maybe he's 21, maybe he just turned 21, but he's super young. And once he figures out how to pair that energy, that athleticism, that motor with a bit more skill, he's going to be a hell of a player. The tools are all there, and the tools are enough to where he will be successful in his first year. Or I think he will be. He has the chance to be. That's the look at Michael Hall so far. Peace.